folks, it's Steve with Prima Coffee here. Today I have the Fellow Stagg Kettle. Now this is a really unique kettle, and it's honestly pretty rare to have a kettle make waves the way this one has because of two very unique innovations that they've included. You know, on the surface it's a pretty nice looking, kind of angular, clean styled kettle. Looks great, it's got this really funky handle, and on top we have this really cool lid. So the two features that are most important here are this brew temperature thermometer that's stuck right in the lid, and it has a probe that goes directly down into your water. And it's actually a brew range thermometer, so we actually have this little red range between 195 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit, which is considered, you know, more or less an ideal brewing range for coffee. That's a really great feature to have built right in for you, so if you are using this on the stovetop or you're filling it up with water from like a tower or maybe like a boiler or something, you can get a really quick gauge as to whether or not your water is in that right brewing range for making your coffee taste delicious. On the handle here, something that you cannot see but is inside, is a counterweight. This handle actually on its own weighs about 5 ounces, and that moves the sort of the pivot, the fulcrum of your pores closer to your hand, which gives you more control when this kettle is full of water. And that's, you know, that's a great feature if you're brewing a lot of coffee and, you know, you're fighting against the kettle to make sure that that stream is nice and concise and pouring exactly where you want it. Having the weight in your hand goes a long way to adding more control to your pours. So those two innovations are just really tremendous and very thoughtful on Fellow's part to making the Stagg kettle a much more than your average kettle. So I'm going to do a quick pouring demonstration with this. This is a all stainless steel kettle. You can see here we have the black version. There's also a polished stainless version as well if you're looking for more of a shiny chromed out look. I'm just pouring some hot water in here, and we'll be able to see right away the utility of that brew range thermometer. So it is a bimetal probe thermometer, but you can actually pull this thermometer straight out, and if you have a digital thermometer that you want, you can stick it in as well. There's a little bit of a rubber gasket in there that holds it firmly in place. So you can see my water's climbing up, and we're just about ready to brew here. Got a little bit of a timer. So my water is just about at 190. Cooled off a little bit after I transferred in, but this is just for a pouring demonstration anyway. So obviously we have this angular sort of spout. It's not quite as curvy as other goosenecks, and the end is cut off quite, you know, sort of straight instead of tapered or rolled over as other kettles might have. So the pour is slightly different. It's not quite as easy as something like a Kalita thin spout or a Takahiro kettle might be to get a really nice tiny stream, but it is no less easy to control. So if I'm going to do a little bit of a bloom pour here, you'll see I can get a really easy stream of water. A little bit of a trickle. I can even slow it down if I want. The trick is that if you pour too little, it can start to sort of roll back on itself like that. So you do need to have a little bit more than just a few drops at a time as you're pouring this coffee or the kettle. Not too problematic really. You know, there's no trouble in pouring a thin, fine stream like this, especially thanks to that counterweight. So really overall, it's a nicely polished kettle, just as easy to use as any other pouring kettle out there. It gets extra points for style and design, and of course it has those two great innovations, that inserted thermometer and the counterweighted handle going for it as well. So that is the Stagg kettle by Fellow. Thanks so much for watching.